Greetings, fellow people. Greetings, fellow people.
Nothing here to care about.
I was browsing Reddit the other day and I came across this post. And this post is pretty big right now. I mean, for Reddit at least. It is posted in the r/no stupid questions subreddit. And this certainly is not a stupid question. This is actually a very serious question, to be honest. User/am I in a cult posted this asking, am I in a cult? Scientology in parentheses. And this post is pretty big right now. It was posted 5 days ago at the time of recording. It has almost 20,000 upvotes and almost 4K comments. Before I want to go any further, I mean, we do know Scientology is a cult. All of us know that, right? I mean, besides this person, obviously. I saw that post the other day about the person who had found out they were dating a Scientologist. All the comments said it was a dangerous cult and that it ruined people's lives and destroyed families. That was the first time I really read anything about Scientology on the internet. I've avoided looking at anything online because I've been afraid to accidentally see the confidential stuff, and my parents told me that if I saw it before I was ready to go type 3, I could die. Jesus Christ, that's like a classic cult tactic.
I get those goosebumps every time.
But after reading some of those comments, well, they all can't be lying, right? I'm too scared to go looking for myself because I don't want to see anything about the OT levels. If you don't know what OT stands for, I guess it stands for operating thetan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's kind of how they I guess rank people within the cult to see how far along they are with the literature, with the their version of the Bible. But I'm starting to think Scientology may be a cult. My parents have gone broke donating money to Scientology. I've had to disconnect from my friends because they were declared SPs. SP stands for, it's kind of their own lingo, it stands for suppressive person. The Wikipedia page states that it is a term used in Scientology to describe the antisocial personalities who, according to Scientology's founder L. Ron Hubbard, make up about 2.5% of the population. A statement on a Church of Scientology website describes this group as including notorious historic figures such as Adolf Hitler. The term is often applied to those whom the church perceives as its enemies, such as those whose disastrous and suppressive acts are said to impede the progress of individual Scientologists or the Scientology movement. So essentially, if they feel that you are kind of moving away from the cult, or you're talking bad about it, or even if you're questioning it, it seems like they'll declare you an SP, which is kind of like taboo within their culture, I guess. It's like they don't interact with other SPs. They kind of deem them as enemies. The creator of this post, OP, is, rightfully afraid of being declared one. Although I've had a lot of wins in auditing personally, there has also been a lot of bad stuff that I just kind of ignore because I like getting auditing. Am I in a cult? So this thread got posted and it blew up. There's a lot of comments, and while the post is interesting, it's the comments that really kind of got me looking into this. I've heard of Scientology, as most people have, and I knew they were a cult, I knew they exploited others for money, but what I didn't know is just how fucking ruthless they are as a organization. It seems like they're like a gang or like a mafia masquerading as a religion. And if you think exploiting people is all they do, it goes a lot deeper than that. A lot fucking deeper. So OP kind of had some back and forth. It seems like they're pretty accepting of the fact that they're in a cult now. It seems like they're waking up to it. But where the story gets really interesting is what OP posted next. The same user made a post on the r/awfuleverything sub, claiming, yesterday that I found out that the religion, Scientology, I was born and raised in is a cult, and when I finally had the courage to look for myself, a Scientologist then messaged me and threatened me with being cut off from all my friends and family. I want everyone to see how insane this cult is. And these messages are pretty crazy. Hey, I am a Scientologist and I was disaffected at one point in time. I have been down this path before. You're treading murky water looking for advice here. I suggest you read Personal Integrity from New Slant on Life, then talk to your local ethics officer. I am not trying to get you in trouble, but people here are PTS and some are SP. You will be subjected to info you don't want or need here. And if you like your auditing, why are you questioning yourself? Let me know if I can help you with anything. Overall, whatever. Where it gets kind of weird is when they say you're treading murky water looking for advice here. And OP responded, I really appreciate what you're saying, but I can't deny what I've seen or the friends I've lost because of Scientology. While I have liked the auditing I've received, there are just too many things I cannot overlook. That's fine. I get that. I have lost people too. But ultimately, the question is, do you feel that you have benefited from Scientology? I mean, your personal integrity is your personal integrity. OP goes on to say, yeah, you know, I've definitely had some benefits from the auditing, which again is like their therapy course, I presume. But ultimately, they feel like they haven't really been delivered on what the cult promised in the beginning. And ultimately, it feels like all the negatives vastly outweigh any benefits they may have received. And they go on to have some more back and forth talking about it. You know, OP kind of sharing what they feel, kind of just talking about their own dilemma. And essentially they feel like they're kind of, you know, stuck in a crossroads. They're kind of either have to, you know, leave the cult for their own benefit, but also lose all their friends and family, or they have to stay in the cult knowing it's a cult, knowing they're being abused. OP goes on to say, I don't trust what the church says anymore, so I'm not going to believe what they say. I'm going to reach out to all the friends I've lost and ask them what happened because I never had the chance to. So your plan is to associate with declared SPs and act like a Scientologist while in the presence of your family. You're saying if I commit the suppressive act of saying I'm not a Scientologist anymore, I'll be declared and my family will have the choice of keeping all their friends and family except me. I don't have the freedom to speak to my family about this because of Scientology. Those declared SPs are my friends who did nothing but question the church or stay in connection with their family who got declared. No, it takes more than that, but associating with declared SPs is another suppressive act. So who's digging whose grave here? It's not me. I am just warning you. You're gonna make it much harder on yourself later. Digging my grave? That's a pretty threatening way of putting it. You can't hide behind policy and act like the church has no responsibility when they break up friends and family. OP goes on to ask, are you from OSA, which is like a part of the cult? Nope, I am just a regular person. No one describes himself as a regular person. And after this exchange, OP posted this, and this got almost the same amount of attention the other one did. And since this has happened, you know, we haven't seen anything from OP yet, so I don't know, maybe they're laying low. Considering this post is pretty big, I think it's reasonable to assume that there's active Scientologists, or at least associates, looking at this post on Reddit. And honestly, I would be willing to bet that they are actively trying to find out who this person is, trying to reveal their identity, and I think they're gonna come after them. This is not a pretty situation. This is not good.
Mintrus is attacking, bro. And no matter what, guys, we won't let it win.
And if you ask why I believe there's active Scientologists on Reddit, I mean, of course, besides that one, let's take a look at the ex-Scientology rub. Let's take a look at r/ex-Scientology, a place for healing, a place to feel welcome. It has about 5,500 members, but what's really interesting is this sub has not been active in over a year. Nobody has posted to it. And it was a pretty active sub before with a lot of people talking about it. Why would this, you know, flourishing sub just disappear? Why would everybody just stop posting suddenly? It's sus. And I think Scientology may have had their eye on this sub for a while. But what's really interesting is the last post that was made on this sub is titled, "To anyone here who has witnessed David Miscavige physically assault people or otherwise worked closely with him. I totally understood the psychological reasons as to why nobody hit him back. That part is easily understood. Question, is he actually physically strong? Does he weight train? Does he train in any martial arts or boxing?" Whatever. This post got a decent amount of attention for a sub with only 5,500 members, but I just think it's very suspect that this was the very last post made on this Reddit, and then all of a sudden everybody just stopped posted. They just all disappeared. You know, what the fuck happened? While it's circumstantial and not definitive, it definitely gives me a feeling that somebody from Scientology may have had something to do with this. Let's get a bit deeper into this rabbit hole, because this is where it starts to get fucking crazy. If you don't know who David Miscavige is, he is the current leader of Scientology, and he has been for some time. Interestingly enough, his wife, Shelly Miscavige, has not been seen since August of 2007. She's been missing for almost 16 years at this point. In 2006, Shelley returned before her husband from a trip aboard the Free Winds, which is Scientology is like their own cruise ship. Yeah, they have a fucking cruise ship. After David Miscavige arrived back, Shelley was said to have visibly changed her mood and looked cowed. And of course, as we know, about a year later, in August of 2007, she went missing, and she has been since. And nobody knows what happened to her. I think a lot of people, reasonably assume she's been murdered, and she's been dead since August of 2007. Some former members of Sea Org have said that they believe Miscavige is being held against her will at the compound of Scientologist Church of Spiritual Technology Corporation near the Mountain of Running Springs in San Bernardino County, California. And the Church of Scientology has not officially made a comment on her whereabouts. In 2012, attorneys who said they represented her responded by saying she was merely living a private life devoted to the Church of Scientology.
Huh?
I don't know about you, but for me, that does not check out. There is definitely something... This is just screaming red flags. This shit is red as my shirt. I don't know what happened. I don't know if her husband, David, who again is the current leader, I don't know if he knows, but I'm willing to bet he had a role in all of this. I don't know for sure, obviously. This is all just speculation. But a few minutes ago, we were talking about the cruise ship, and that's not where the story of Scientology ends, at least with that. I would like to introduce you to Valeska Paris, a woman who grew up in Scientology. In 2019, she filed a 32-page affidavit with the Clearwater Police Department alleging forced labor and sexual abuse as a child in England, a teenage in Clearwater, and as a young adult on the church's Free Wind ship in the Caribbean. After her mother criticized the religion, the church retaliated by kidnapping Valeska, bringing her on the cruise ship, and making her do slave labor for 12 fucking years, being held captive that entire time. She was only 18 when she was banished to the cruise ship, and she claimed she was forced to do manual labor on the decks, clean up asbestos, and work until 4 a.m. for the first 6 months. She also claims that while on the cruise ship, she served some more notable members of the cult, such as Tom Cruise. And during her time on the cruise ship, to discredit her, Scientology came up with an entire fucking smear campaign to completely discredit her, discredit her identity, any of her claims, and just spread misinformation about the cult in general. This website, ValeskaParis.com, which is still up by the way, which was created by Scientology, again, as a misinformation campaign. Statement of the Church of Scientology International. Valeska Paris is a liar who makes her living peddling false stories to tabloid media and getting paid for it. And on the website, there are a couple pictures which we could look at. And Valeska came out and said that she was forced to pose for all of these pictures as a way so the church could make it look like she was a willing, happy participant on the cruise ship. And again, during this whole time, Valeska claims that she was illegally held captive, basically a fucking prisoner, basically a fucking slave that entire time. And when she was finally able to get off, she escaped, she called the police, and essentially nothing happened. So now she is pursuing litigation against the church and against its leader. So if they held Valeska captive that entire 12 years just for her mother criticizing the religion, and we know that when Shelley returned from the cruise ship, she was, quote, visibly distressed, I think it's reasonable to assume that maybe, just maybe, Shelley is being held captive on Free Winds, treading around international waters, just like Valeska was for 12 years. I mean, especially since they held her for that long, and since Shelley hasn't been seen for almost 16 years now, gotta be either fucking dead or being held captive. It's one of the two. And just so you get a scope of how far and wide Scientology's influence and how much control, how widespread it really is, well, go no further than looking at Operation Snow White. And if you thought they were criminal before, this adds just a whole nother layer to it. Operation Snow White was a criminal conspiracy by the Church of Scientology during the 1970s to purge unfavorable records about Scientology and its founder, L. Ron Hubbard. This project included a series of infiltrations into and thefts from 136 different government agencies, foreign embassies and consulates, as well as private organizations critical of Scientology, carried out by church members in more than 30 countries. It was one of the largest infiltrations of the United States government in history, with up to 5,000 covert agents. Under this program, Scientology operatives committed infiltrating, wiretapping, and thefts of documents in government offices. Scientology essentially fucking bullied the IRS into giving them tax-exempt status as a religion since they didn't want to pay taxes on all the money they're stealing from everybody. Oh, you know, poor fucking them. Fucking greedy psychopaths, dude. Yeah, they essentially sued the IRS into submission and gave them tax-exempt status. And since this wasn't that long ago, I'm willing to bet they have, you know, just as many agents, or at least a good amount of agents of their own, you know, group within the U.S. government and different agencies altogether. Whether it's the IRS, I'm sure they have fucking people in many, you know, police departments, shit, maybe even the FBI. I mean, who knows how far this thing goes. So again, it seems like Scientology will go incredibly far. They know no limits to get what they want. You know, they will threaten anybody, they will abuse anybody, and they are very predatory, and they're fucking dangerous. And well, because of all this, because of all these shenanigans that Scientology has been doing, it's been banned in a number of countries, such as France, Germany, and even fucking Russia, dude. Seems like they see right through them. They know they're an abusive sect posing as a religion, and I think they made the right choice of banning them. And I think we all know that I mean, most religions are cults anyway, and a lot of them are pretty abusive to their members, although not this intense. This is a whole nother thing, dude. Now knowing all this, knowing all the background of Scientology, this is why I say I'm very concerned for the OP here. I'm very concerned for their well-being. You know, I wonder what's going on with them. They haven't posted anything about them, any identifying factors, anything that would really reveal who they are. If Scientology gets a whiff of this, and like I said, I'm sure they already know about it, and it's very possible that they are actively trying to suppress this and find out who this person is, especially with people who go public with their, you know, detracting from Scientology. They are especially ruthless and unforgiving to those. Even if you try to just leave silently, they'll still harass the fuck out of you. They'll literally send private investigators to your house. They'll literally dig through your trash to find out where you are, find any addresses, any piece of mail that may reveal anything. These people will stop at nothing. They are complete psychopaths. Absolutely fucking insane and deranged. I am a bit concerned. They haven't posted anything since. Yeah, I don't know. So, Jesus Christ, I hope they're doing well. I hope everything's okay. And I hope they're able to get out of this, you know, with no serious repercussions. It is a very tragic story because they're going to have to, you know, separate themselves and distance themselves from their friends and their family, from their only support network, since they're all involved in the cult. They're all involved in the religion. It's not easy to make such a big life change, especially something like that, something that you've believed and been indoctrinated in so intensely and so heavily for basically your entire life. It's hard as hell to leave something like that, especially an abusive sect, and it's going to be even harder if you don't have a support network to lay back on. This is not going to be, I don't know, it's not going to be easy for them, but I really wish them the best of the luck. I really hope everything's able to go smoothly. I mean, shit, there's a fucking Scientology church, like, not far from me. It's not as, you know, lavish or extravagant as this one, but yeah, Scientology is a very abusive religion. Not even a religion. They're essentially a gang, you know, posing as a religion. They exploit people, they steal their money, and if they try to leave, they harass them, they intimidate them. Hell, they will stop at nothing. They will even imprison them or enslave them or possibly even fucking murder them. It's a dangerous group. Please do never get involved with them. And there's a reason they have the reputation they have, and there's a reason they've been banned in many countries. So if you or someone you love is trying to leave Scientology, please contact the Aftermath Foundation. They are a verified group dedicated to helping people escape Scientology. There is help available. So ultimately, that is all for today. Again, I wish the best for the OP. I hope they are able to get out of everything safely and smoothly. And yeah, I don't know. All we can do is just keep updated. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good one. Yeah, and I really hope nobody comes after me. Damn, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder for the next few weeks. All right, thanks for watching.